Let me see the suspect.
Balls. Why are you here?
Do you even know why you're arrested?
No plus ratio plus bozo plus I don't care.
You're very funny, huh? You're here for evading your taxes.
Who?
I said you were evading your...
Asked.
Stop playing around.
What?
I said stop playing around.
Ever.
I'm reporting you for this.
When?
Right now.
Did I ask? How are you falling for this?
Where?
What do you mean?
Is your dad? Do.
What do you say?
You get no bitches? Are
Please stop.
you fatherless?
Hello and welcome back to By the Way. Today we've got so much shit to get through. So if you do enjoy today's episode, please like and subscribe. And let's just unpack all of this stuff. First of all, the Dragon Ball guy died.
Why would you even say it like that? Akira Toriyama, a very famous, a manga writer for the incredibly influential, amazing, awesome, my favorite thing on earth, Dragon Ball. He died the 1st of March, but the news was only released on the 8th of March for obviously for privacy reasons. He's already had his funeral and stuff. He died at very young for especially for a famous manga writer. 68. Incredibly sad. He died of acute subdural hematoma. I don't know exactly what that is, but incredibly sad. I don't even know what to say. When I woke up and saw it, I saw it on TikTok. I saw a thing
He burst into tears, crying.
I mean, I could have, but no, I was on TikTok and I saw, Akira Tori, like a joke. Someone made a joke or like actual thing, but I thought it was a joke because it said the Mexican cartel when they find out Akira Toriyama dies. I went, that's funny. Next thing I swipe up, news. Famous manga Akira Toriyama has died, and it was unbelievably devastating. He's created what is maybe one of the most influential, oh my god, I can't say it now. It's just
influential.
It's got most that series of of all time. It's in everything, right? It's referenced in everything. Everyone has come out to give their thanks and condolences to Akira Toriyama. Very famous manga writers, One Piece, Naruto. Who else?
Fairy
Tail, Demon Slayer. I'm trying to remember some other people. Slam Dunk, Blue Lock. Just a bunch of people. Literally everyone was influenced by him. It was one of the first big animes, to come out.
Oh, big manga, I'd say.
Oh yeah, manga, anime. I mean, even the anime. But the manga was incredibly influential for a lot of manga writers to come, and still to come, I'd say. I bet you there's still plenty of manga writers that are yet to, start writing, who are probably still reading Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Super now, I guess. It's even outside thing. Sky News brought it up, about how he died.
News.
BBC News, never seen any of them talk about kind of other manga writers like that. Anyway.
I'd say the only time I've ever seen another manga artist in actual mainstream news was the guy who wrote Attack on Titan when he finished it, and he was on the news about finishing up his series.
Yeah, and it was it was incredible. He touched everyone. Obviously, a lot of different communities. Obviously, the Mexican community is absolutely heartbroken. They were probably the biggest supporters, not the Japanese, the biggest supporters on the Mexican. I mean, I remember when Dragon Ball Super, it was ending in the final episode. The Japanese government had to actually, go and have send a diplomatic letter over to the Mexican government saying you can't keep streaming this illegally to big crowds of people. We will get you. You're gonna get fines and stuff, and they didn't fucking care. I saw things about free lap dances if Goku beat Jiren, sort of things like that. Free food, just a bunch of free shit. They were the biggest supporters. I know a lot of the black community as well. They are very deeply, deeply saddened by his death. I know KSI, he actually made a tweet about it. Obviously, how he was heavily influenced. I mean, God, he one of his.
He loves fucking Dragon Ball.
He plays Dragon Ball Legends. He's got a song called "Godlike Beerus." I think he has a Beerus chain as well, like a thingy chain. But yeah, in a lot of their media and songs, it's fucking everywhere. Who thing is it? Joey something, but he has a special beam on that Piccolo. A lot of just Western, thing like Cartoon Network. Obviously, they used to broadcast Dragon Ball. They said their condolences. I saw even the Smurfs. The Smurfs made a thing, which is just crazy to me. Because I can't imagine they having Dragon Ball having any influence. But even they said about it, which is just crazy to me. With a cute little art piece of Goku going up to Papa Smurf and talking to him. But yeah, I'm incredibly sad to hear about that. His series meant a lot to me. I've loved it ever since I was a kid. I remember watching it. I don't know what else to say, man. It was incredibly sad. Do you have anything to add, Tom? Obviously, I know you never liked Dragon Ball, but even you can admit its influence was there.
He fell off.
You're just such a loser, bro.
Unlucky.
Do you want people to not subscribe to us? Do you actually not want people to subscribe to us? What is wrong with you?
That is my response. Unlucky.
Your literal favorite manga, JoJo, was heavily influenced by Dragon Ball.
Was it though? Was it? I don't think it was. If anything, it was more influenced by Fist of the North Star, but
it's just not though. Even
it literally is. You can just compare.
I'm sorry to tell you, even Araki said there was influences. Hot Chili Pepper is influenced by Frieza.
Don't know who that is.
He just is though. He is though. Literally, Dio does a Kamehameha pose, or the Zawaldo does. What do you mean? Look, Tom, just because you're a loser, right? I've never seen someone trying. I don't know what you're trying to do here, trying to get people to engage with us, because you're just going to get hate comments. That's all I'm saying.
Good. I'm not a fan. I'm not a big fan of Dragon Ball. It doesn't make any sense. They all look identical. Why do they need the balls? But no.
This is you don't even want to believe. This man, don't listen to this man. Some of the shit he has watched. Some of the shit
Rip
he
the
has
Dragon Ball guy, for real. Homie taken too soon, for real. Unlucky.
One of his first anime was about inflating boobs. That's all I'll say. One of Tom's first anime.
It wasn't.
It was though.
It
was though.
genuinely wasn't.
It genuinely was.
My first was JoJo.
That's why I said. That's why I said one of his first.
Yeah, but it wasn't. I didn't.
I hope.
That's actually one of the last I watched.
I hope you get what's coming to you, Tom, with this one. You've just insulted a lot of people's favorite person.
Okay.
All right, let's move on to our main topic. After someone rudely, just.
He fell off.
He never fell off.
He fell off. He quite literally has fallen off.
He's literally never fallen off and never will fall off.
But yeah, moving on to our main topic of today. Keffals is a bad person.
Yes, she is not as bad as a person as you right now. I would say that.
For those who don't know, Keffals is a trans YouTuber who has been surrounded in controversy pretty much the entire time she's been on this platform.
Mm-hmm.
However, recently she's pretty much killed her career.
To be fair, she's done that before anyway. She'd gained relevancy and then fallen off and then done it again now.
Yeah, but I think this is irreversible damage.
All right, please explain to the audience, Thomas.
Basically, let me.
Okay, that was just not necessary.
Basically, Keffals had a little bit of drama with H3H3, Ethan Klein. She decided to go nuclear on him with an expose video. However, she ended up messing around with the subreddit. Now, if there's one thing you never want to do is mess with
We're a
Reddit.
redditor.
They have receipts. They sit there all day typing away on their little keyboards. They are ready to find receipts, and that is what they did with Keffals. They found out that Keffals had a Discord server called the Catboy Ranch, where Keffals groomed children and sent them Catboy collars, which then led to the huge YouTuber, some ordinary gamer, Mutaha, exposing this to his huge audience. And also how and the fact that Keffals had stolen over 100k from the GoFundMe that was meant to be for suing the Canadian police.
So what happened with the Canadian police there is that through a website called Kiwi Farms, they had found her address and they had doxed her. And what they had called, using her dead name, they had called the police saying that she had just killed her mum and was going to hurt more people. So then the police, and this is what she said, she woke up with a gun in her face. They had taken her down and used her dead name to the police to the police station, and then obviously gone through all the paperwork and stuff. It was obviously not real, so they let her on her way. But now she is now made obviously that thing saying, "Oh, the police have done this, and they've destroyed, like they've taken away all our stuff. So now I'm gonna start up a GoFundMe to move countries, and then with the rest
Sue the police and all that.
Replace all the damages of her property, and then with the rest of the money she would sue the police." She's now gone, moved, thing, and not used any of that money. And she kept upping the price as well, or the limit, or the goal, even the goal.
The GoFundMe.
For the GoFundMe, so it kept getting higher and higher, and then so up to about 100k. So she's moved to her new place in Ireland, and she's obviously done nothing with the police money, and her story with that whole thing has kind of unfolded on itself, because now apparently she never woke up with a gun in her face. The police were actually outside and then knocked on the door and said that they're coming in, which she obviously allowed. They never used her dead name either. Obviously, I'm guessing maybe they used it initially because that was the information they were given. But I'm sure as soon as she said use this name, they probably did. I don't see why they would not. If they're just trying to get her to cooperate because they feel like she's probably a mass murderer. and there was also pictures taken of her bringing her stuff back, her computers and stuff. So that was also a lie. And obviously now she's done nothing with the police, and her story kept changing about the situation. So that's just a whole nother thing that makes her even more unbelievable for all the next truths that we're about to drop about her, or not truths, but rumors. Most likely truths though.
She's also been using the fact that she is trans to essentially weaponize, I'd say, the LGBT community to kind of just shut down any sort of criticism for her being trans. Like she's done like multiple videos saying like how hard it is. I'm not saying it's not probably it is probably very hard being trans, but she's using the fact that she is trans as an excuse
to do
for
bad things.
Yeah.
And then she's just damaging her own, her own community then. Because when a trans person does something bad, it hurts the rest of them. So when you're claiming stuff like that, it's already a very big negative.
Yeah, well, I think she shut down, like she stopped doing Twitch for I can't remember the reason.
She says she wasn't feeling obviously the best. She says she's been on, she's depressed. She's been on antidepressants. Obviously, a lot of things have been getting to her with, Twitch and stuff. So for now, for the foreseeable future, she's going to stop doing that. And I mean,
But yeah,
if you need a mental health break, take a mental health break. But no, I'm not going to say
yeah, no,
she's deserved some of the things she's been given, but I'm not going to say she's definitely gone out of her way. She definitely has gone out of her way for people to not like her. I will say that.
so she's also being accused of grooming people on this Discord server that she's tried to hide. Well, for like catboys and stuff.
I mean, it wasn't hidden because she had a Twitter for it, and then she made the Discord for it, and she was the moderator. There isn't any actual, so far, evidence of her interacting with any children that weren't of 18 or years of adults of 18 years of age or higher. There was a thing of a 13-year-old being there, but I don't think that went any further than as soon as they said they were 13. They were obviously kicked off the thing. So it's all alleged, but I mean, still a bit of a sticky situation. She's been in also other controversies with she was quite a big name of a website that would sell HTR to children under the age of 18, obviously, who couldn't get it and would try and obviously had to hide it from their parents and stuff, which is, I think, I don't think it's a very good thing to do. I'm all for supporting trans people, but I think it's a very big decision for someone who could be like 13 years of age to change their body forever by using hormone blockers and hormone replacements. So I think selling to children that age, and also it was home brewed as well, some of the stuff, which is already very risky.
It goes without saying that if you're gonna get like hormone blockers, you get them from the pharmacy.
Get it from a trusted, trusted.
You don't go online. It's like you don't go on Amazon to get your medicine. You go to a pharmacy or a doctor. Like,
especially when they say it's home brewed as well in a bathtub. They were saying as well, which is just awfully risky and dangerous, and just I can't imagine it's doing well for them if anyone had used them. There's just been a lot of controversy about her. There was also a thing where obviously she had been doxxed. She's been on a very big thing against this place called Kiwi Farm. So when she was initially doxxed, her mum's house was doxxed. Obviously there was a YouTuber on there called Flamingo, I believe his name was, that she said was like actively he wasn't like spreading the docs or anything, but he was on the the sub page that had done the spreading. So she then said guilty by association, and she was angry at all of his friends. There was a streamer called Stardust who was friends with him, and then she started they had a discussion about it, and just as you could see, as soon as the conversation was going to go, she'd get very angry with it, get incredibly angry, just start throwing insults that weren't necessary, and then would just leave abruptly.
Yeah.
All because the person wouldn't agree with her that it was guilty by association, just because he was on the sub page, and he wasn't spreading it. There was no actual evidence of him spreading any of the doxing. Doesn't mean he was, doing it. He was on the sub page, yep, but there's not much he could really do to control that. You could go, oh no, this is bad, stop doing that, but that's not going to stop people. You'll never be able to stop people doing stuff like that.
She always plays the victim in everything she does. Like I said, she uses the fact that she's trans as an excuse, or if someone's got genuine criticism, she'll use it as oh, he's attacking me because I'm a trans person. Instead of the fact that she is a pretty shitty person who refuses to actually acknowledge what she's doing.
Yeah, it's obviously never a good thing. What else? Let me get my notes up. there's a lot of notes to go through here. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, no, and then what I've noticed on some of her videos is she filters it by members first. So obviously those are people who are paying money to be part of a community on her YouTube channel. So obviously by putting it as members first on the comment section, obviously all you're going to see is the people who are just, absolutely in love with this person. You don't actually get to see all the actual true, I'd say all the comments either that have actual genuine criticism on her, or just speaking their opinion, are buried under the absolute shit tons amount of people who are paying to be a member of her channel. So she's essentially also burying any hate or genuine criticism on her videos with her die-hard fan base.
Yeah, which like when you're a YouTuber and a streamer, you're gonna get criticism, but you should be able to take it. I understand she's had some circumstances that are definitely not very nice, but that doesn't mean she can just lash out at anyone, especially if they're giving genuine criticism. And there's no one who's given more criticism than Destiny, and those two have had a very big, I wouldn't say rivalry, it's more just hatred, because at least with rivalry there's a bit of mutual respect, but there's no respect between those two, that's for sure. So, they've had a very complicated history. I think the first real instance was talking about that website that would give, see the children under 18 the HRT, which was, he would be criticizing her friend about it. I can't remember her name, but she had a friend that was very big on the website and she would also teach people how to make the HRT in their houses, how to make it homebrew it themselves, basically, which is still very dangerous and I wouldn't say a very good thing to do. I understand that people want to transition, but there is ways of doing safer ways of doing it, that's for sure. But he would criticize her, and then she Keffals would come out and I believe try, and I think she got him banned on Twitch for saying it was, transphobia and stuff like that, which he was not too happy about. Obviously, he got unbanned, and then there's another instance where he talked about a trans athlete who had won a competition, I believe in the women's league, and obviously he said this wasn't a very good thing, which I can agree on. It people arguing for it and against it. I feel like if the evidence show that men, even trans men, are just physically superior to most women, then can you really have them in the same competition? Because a lot of those women have worked very hard to, get where they are. And then this woman has just kind of blown them out of the water because of, obviously, biology. So he had criticised that. She, again, was not too happy about that. I believe she tried to get him banned on Twitter this time. I don't believe it went through, though. And then they had they have an argument. I believe they just, it was just constant back and forth between the two of them. He would never try and get her banned, but she kept trying to get him banned with just every kind of instance they had against each other.
Yeah.
Got any more to add?
No, the situation's a sticky one still, but unless more concrete evidence comes out, it's just another he said she said kind of back and forth.
There is definitely a lot of evidence against her, but obviously
there is a lot of evidence,
concrete.
but there's nothing actual concrete. You know what I mean?
I get what you mean.
There's nothing like they're dead to rights, but it's a sticky one still.
I think she should use this break from streaming to try and kind of look at herself in the mirror and maybe think, I need to try and change.
Maybe a break from social media.
I think. I think a lot of people are chronically online, having these stupid debates about things constantly. But I think she should just take a break and then try and kind of fix her mentality towards things. Because as soon as everything doesn't seem to be going her way, she seems to kind of break down and just insult the person and leave, which doesn't look good on her part. Then it doesn't look good on her part at all, because as soon as my point isn't, immediately proven right, that's it. I don't care. Fuck you. Insult, 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 leave. Okay, it's not the way to do it. Especially if her point is truly right, and someone proves it wrong too quickly, she's just gonna break down and turn into that same person she's arguing against. Not a very good look.
Yeah.
Not a very good look at all. So yeah.
Speaking of transitioning, Rooster Teeth is transitioning from being open to shut down.
Yeah, yet again, another incredibly sad. That's definitely one way of doing that. Yeah, another incredibly long-lasting organization is coming to an end. They have made quite a lot of people's childhoods, with their obviously most famous series, I'd say, being Red versus Blue.
Red versus Blue, an iconic series, just of pretty much like shitty machinima. Like it's just like Red Halo team versus Blue Halo team.
I mean, fuck, it was on Netflix. It was on Netflix, and obviously their other famous series being Ruby. I know you actually had watched that, Tom, hadn't you?
I'd read the manga, of which I really enjoyed the manga. Watching the series was rough because obviously it's done in 3D.
Well, I mean, for an organization, like them, this wasn't the worst looking, I'd say.
No, it does get better over time. Like it is good. I mean, like if I was to suggest which one to watch, I'd say read the manga. But no, I mean that I'd say that Ruby was the biggest and most well-known piece of media that they did. Obviously, it's on Crunchyroll, Funimation, and all of those other conglomerates.
I had never watched that ever.
Because it was 3D. Like the whole show was 3D, but like obviously it was their biggest thing. But no, it is very sad that Rooster Teeth are being shut down. They've been here. We're losing around for a while.
We're losing a lot of very old. I mean, today, when we were recording this, we're losing MatPat today as well.
Yeah, MatPat's going.
Rooster Teeth had obviously as of today they had done their goodbye stream yesterday. Yeah, again, incredibly sad, incredibly upsetting and sad to see. And I obviously I know. And I fear that more YouTubers are going to start going in their way. And obviously it's time, Time. They're getting older and they have the money and they don't need to keep doing this. And I think they believe that it's time for a new generation to take over.
We are in the years. This year and next year is the year of like the retirement. You'll see a lot of big names either shut down or leave because they've run their course.
Do you believe it? Who do you think will be the next one to go? Do you think, like, we'll say big? We'll say who's like the next real big one?
I do believe we talked about this on our first ever episode. I said, who did I say? I'd say probably the next big person to go would be. I'm gonna say Will and E.
Will and E.
Yeah, but because. I mean, if you look at his videos, his video schedule has been slowing down a lot. I mean, compared to the stuff he did like 2-3 years ago, it just doesn't seem as if he's enjoying it as much.
I could see that.
And I know he has had a problem in the past of being able like trying to keep up with stuff, which is why whenever he's done like group stuff, he's always the reason why the group fails because he just can't keep it up.
Yeah, he seems to be kind of tired. But to be fair, he's been kind of going in different directions than the rest of his group. He had been interacting with the Sidemen a lot more.
Yeah, but I think he might retire in the next few years.
See, because I feel like the age kind of depends as well on when they're
Or it'll
leaving.
be one of the Sidemen.
I mean, we're probably both thinking the same person. If one person was going to retire, it'd probably be Zerka, I'd say.
Oh, I was going to say KSI.
I wouldn't say KSI because him being the YouTuber is kind of obviously a big influence on him doing other stuff, like obviously music and stuff.
Yeah, but he does music, boxing. He doesn't really do like He doesn't do videos on his channel anymore. It's mainly like Sidemen content, Sidemen Sundays. But I
I,
mean,
another one I could see would be actually Jacksepticeye. I think
yeah, I mean,
I
he said he
he
wants to leave, so
he obviously yeah, because he used to go from uploading every day to now every now and again, which I think is a very
yeah,
big. It was a very big change for him. Obviously, it was when I think he'd had a burnout, and obviously his dad had died, and the internet was not too kind about that, which is no surprise from the internet, but still, can imagine how mentally tolling it must be to hear about, your own dad in probably not very nice ways.
yeah.
I would say he's probably definitely one of the bigger ones to go. I mean, he's been in a movie. He was in the that Free Guy movie, so he's definitely big enough. We definitely know that. I don't see someone like Markiplier leaving because he has the Iron Lung movie.
He's got the Iron Lung movie. Markiplier is still doing very well for
And
himself.
I think he just enjoys it. Obviously, he doesn't see it as a job anymore. Now it's more of a hobby, I'd say, because now there are
Yeah,
actual things he wants to do, and obviously it helps him. Helps him, obviously continue. And how old is Markiplier?
he's
He
in his 30s.
he's in his 30s. Obviously, we have. How old is Moist Critical? Because obviously, I know he's never going to stop it. Because he said he loves doing YouTube and he never wants to really stop until
I
obviously.
don't know how old he is, but
I don't
I
think
mean,
he's in his 30s yet. I don't think. Obviously, it's like him and Pyro.
no.
They're like still quite young, and obviously they do the kind of same kind of content. So it's not like they're going to get burnt out from the shit content that they or the slop that they produce, so they can do other things.
But yeah, getting back on track with Rooster Teeth. No, it's like as we said, they made many people's childhoods. I definitely watched a few of their stuff. Did you?
I'd seen a little bit of Red versus Blue, and kind of like I'd always watch their they'd done like IRL videos, like Angry Birds Real Life. I'd seen kind of stuff like that as well, and it was enjoyable. Obviously, I wasn't as close to the thing, but I know a lot of other people really enjoyed the content they produced, and they will be greatly missed.
Yeah. It's a sad week to be honest. This week,
Yeah,
bit
very
of a
sad
sad
week.
week.
Incredibly
Not
sad
sad
week.
for me. Not sad for me though,
Of
because
it,
I've got a new Lego set coming, so not sad for me.
I hope it gets fucking lost in the fucking mail. Fuck you.
Well, you got Jake Paul as well. Jake Paul, he's gonna be killed. Jake Paul will be
Oh
murdered.
yeah, that actually probably will be another person that might die in the
For
foreseeable
those of you
future.
who do not know, Jake Paul is fighting Mike Tyson on July 20th, I do believe, and it is going to be the first Netflix streamed boxing event. So you can watch it on Netflix.
Every day we stray further from God. We're becoming more and more dystopian.
He's going to be. I mean, it's going to be a case between like um power versus stamina. Look, Mike Tyson, he's definitely still got the power in his punches. Like
He is
he's still got the power. He's also, even though he's not as fast
60,
as he once.
still 60
Yeah,
though.
yeah. Even though he's not as fast as he used to be in his prime, he is still very quick with the feet and the hands. But yes, because of his age, I think he's gonna be lacking the stamina. He's not gonna be able to go the full set of rounds. I don't believe.
I just don't
Whereas Jake,
understand why Jake Paul keeps challenging these, old legends instead of just fighting someone at the same level as him.
well, the thing is because boxing, when it comes to the sport, is unique because obviously you get to choose who you fight.
I know that,
Like,
but I feel like if I was a boxing fighter, I feel like I would want to be known for fighting people who are the same age and same kind of relative, fitness as me.
I think Jake Paul's more of a glory hunter.
Well,
He's not
don't worry, we
like
all know that.
he's fighting, ex MMA fighters and boxers who weren't in their prime and stuff like that, because those are big names that go under their belt. Also, because they're big names, they produce a lot more income, a lot more money, a lot more what's it called? Like notice to the event. Like fighting Mike Tyson,
Well, yeah, that's gonna be.
You're gonna have a lot of people. As soon as everyone's heard of it, right? Because Mike Tyson, big name, you're gonna have a lot of people watch that fight because who doesn't want to see Mike Tyson probably in the ring again for the final time? You know?
And what people believe he will kill him, and I want to believe that
Yeah.
as well. But like, I just I don't even know if half the fights are even real that he does.
Well,
Like,
I know the last fight Jake Paul had, he'd won round one with a knockout. However, I mean, look, as much as Jake Paul is a pretty shitty person, what I think he did with his most recent fight, I can't remember who he fought, was actually a very nice thing. So because he knocked the guy out in the first round, and also because a bunch of people had pulled out the fight the day before, the lineup wasn't as exactly what it was meant to be, and as a result, he gave a free refund to everyone who had bought a ticket,
I mean, yeah, that was nice of him.
which I think is a pretty. I mean, look, as much as I when it comes to Jake Paul, I say he's a glory hunter, but I do believe he does actually care about the sport. He's not like KSI and Logan Paul, where they only see the sport
As
as
obviously
money and promotion.
promotion, yeah.
Whereas Jake Paul, because obviously, as much as like I don't like Jake Paul, or you don't like Jake Paul. I'm sure the viewers over there don't like Jake Paul. He actually does clearly care about the sport. The fact that he's constantly boxing, he's constantly fighting someone else, someone new, and he says it's to get himself more experience. And I do believe. I mean, he's still very young. Was he? He's like 25 or 26 or something like that. And I
Yeah,
do believe that you will start to see him actually. Well, fingers crossed, start to actually challenge proper opponents.
well, let's hope so. Because I mean, if he does care about the sport itself, he won't just keep fighting old retired people who can, be like, "Oh my god, he's the best fighter around" and stuff.
The best.
I do want him to actually see him fight someone of, similar fitness and age, who isn't like 40 years older than him and hasn't actually done the sport that, they are doing. Instead of
Yeah,
doing
like
MMA, he does boxing, which he's not, as trained in, and, would lose quite easily to a youngster with a bit too much, pep in his step.
yeah. I reckon he's definitely got the talent to do well because he does train, he does fight, and he does clearly enjoy the sport because he keeps on fighting. He's doing 3 to 4 games a year, which is a lot.
Oh, that's definitely a lot for boxing, and you can see he definitely does enjoy it. But like, it just pisses me
Like,
off the way it's being done. That's it. Because I
yeah.
obviously don't like. I have a clear bias against him, and I will probably admit that because he's just such a fucking prat. But I can't not admit that he's not at least a good fighter.
He definitely does have the levels to do well in the boxing. He just needs to he needs to get rid of the yes men, and he needs to fire like his agent or whatever, and he needs to actually choose people who are actual boxers, who are like
Yeah.
actually in the sport, not people who are trying to get into the sport.
Or people for the, obviously for the big name and the big money,
Yeah.
big promotion. Obviously, I'm sure Mike Tyson would happily take the fight because he's not the most well off guy, is he? I don't really know.
I don't know.
I know he was broke at one stage, obviously, because he'd spent so much money when he was partying and coking up and in his youth that he actually got arrested for tax fraud or evasion. I can't remember. Or tax evasion. So yeah, he was in jail for a little bit of time, and obviously he can't. But as soon as he did come out of that, he get a bunch more money. But he still did buy a lot of exotic things, like the tiger. The tiger was one. So I know he was broke from
Yeah.
that. So he obviously would like probably a bit more money.
Well, if you want to hear us talk about the outcome of Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson, then you need to subscribe right now and then wait till July 20th. If you did enjoy today's video, please like, share, and subscribe. You know, we are appreciating it.
Please
The channel-
destroy Tom in the comments for the comments he made about Dragon Ball today. Thank you very much.
Come at me, come at me. He fell low, he fell low. And we will see you next week. Goodbye.